What's up everybody, another beautiful day in the Dragon Isles, and today I'll tackle the age-old question, why play Enhancement? Or more specifically, why play Enhancement in patch 10.2, season 3 of Dragonflight, which releases in less than a month. So Enhancement is currently in an extremely comfortable spot going into the next season. We just had a talent tree rework making us even better all around and shored up some of our few weaker points, so we're able to tailor our builds even more, which is something I love about Enhancement. We're able to tailor our builds to fit mob count and fight style. We can do competitive pure single target, 2-3 target cleave, 6 target AoE, funnel builds where we can get absurd single target as well as AoE. As long as there's a constant flood of mobs, we can build our own damage amp phases in raids, so yeah, overall much flexible. Oh, so flexy. And for the Elementalist build, you don't lose AoE going single target route. There's just a little less of it, so fights where ads spawn periodically, aka not constant AoE, we'll still be able to smash boss while bursting down the ads. And we'll get more boss damage by doing so, which leads me to another strong point for Enhancement, which is their ability to funnel damage into priority mobs or bosses, using the extra targets to get a massive upswing in single target damage. So in M+, being able to pull a big pack with tons of small mobs and a big elite and have that big elite die at the same time or close to the small mobs is something that's extremely valuable. So Mega Pepega blasting down 20 small mobs and then taking a minute to get down the big dragon? Well, not great, but Enhancement can solve that. Now the same is true in raids. Whenever there's ads for the pads, we're able to utilize that for extra boss dam. Echo of Neltharion and Sarkareth from Aberrus are great examples of this, and like I said, they still do insane AoE while funneling, since Frostshock will slap the ever-living fudge out of mobs, as well as your Primordial Wave lightning bolts. Now they also bring a ton of utility, which is especially noticeable in M+, where you have AoE stuns, AoE incap, slow, purge, decurse, poison cleansing totem, wind rush for group movement, AoE knock up, knock back, great AoE healing cooldown via ancestral guidance, and of course the wind fury totem and bloodlust. And when we fuck up and die, we're able to bring ourselves back to life and say, nobody saw that? No, nobody saw that? What do you mean I died? I didn't die. I'm alive right now. Point being, we're very valuable, if you will, in both raids and M+, and for me, I love having utility that's impactful, except when you have to purge after popping cooldowns. But overall, we're very impactful if utilized correctly, which is something I really enjoy, and it adds an additional layer to their playstyle when it comes to dungeons and to some extent raids. However, the most important part when it comes to should you or should you not play X or Y class spec build Vulpera is simply, is it fun? And more importantly, are you enjoying it? Some people just want to chase whatever is meta choice. But I personally want a little bit of both. I really don't mind playing Flav of the Month, cause hey, doing damage is fun. But if the class or its rotation interactions are boring, then for me it doesn't matter how much damage they do. There really is nothing that compares to Enhancement once you learn or get the rotation and priority system and what they're able to do with their toolkit. There is an insane amount of synergy and interactions between talents and abilities that all work together to just make things fun, fast-paced, and rewarding. And it just so happens I also make Enhancement build guides. What a coincidence! So make sure to check that out if you want to learn more Enhancement stuff. There's even 2 different build playstyles, if you will. One having a very simple rotation, which are the Storm and Stormcleave builds, focusing on Storm Strike slapping and generating an ungodly amount of Maelstrom, enabling you to spew out Chain Lightnings and Lightning Bolts with a chance to refund its cost, allowing you to pew pew more. So it's very straightforward, but still incredibly slappy. But it does run into some issues when you push really high keys. Not that they won't do competitive damage in there, but they lack the funnel damage that the other build has, which are the Elementalist builds. They are rather complex and has a lot more buttons and interactions and bells and whistles to learn. But once it clicks, the rotation is smoother than my father's bald head. And it really has a high skill ceiling and favors being a little bit inventive, or rather knowledgeable about trash and bosses, as we're able to gain a metric ton of damage from Primordial Wave if there's things that you can spread some flame shocks to, like adds or roots that you can nuke down, spears, or yeah, stuff that needs to be nuked down. It even works when bosses take 99% reduced damage. As long as they're not immune, it's an extra target. And Primordial Wave with these splintered elements nets us 20% haste plus 4% per target hit by lightning bolt that lasts for 12 seconds, and with the new tier bonus that we get in 10.2, this is brought down to a 24-sec timer on average, meaning we'll have close to 50% uptime on this bad boy, which is pretty much a bloodlust and a half. Point being, it's a lot of fun trying to min-max that, so if you're a player that likes min-maxing stuff, or to always feel like there's room for improvement and a gameplay that never goes stale, you will for sure love Enhancement. And keep in mind that again, Primordial Wave will be on a 24-sec timer, which means any pack, any pull, always and forever, you have damage. You will go into each and every pack with all your burst ready. The gameplay just never slows down. None of that nonsense like, oh, I have a 2-3 minute cooldown and I have to plan around that. And unlike playing something like Beam Hunter where you have Beast to Wrath all the time, this actually feels impactful. I promise you 40% plus haste is noticeable, and having a constant flood of that extra haste makes him an absolute bliss to play on trash packs and dungeons. Unethically fast paced at times, and like I said, it can be very overwhelming if you aren't used to it, since it is the definition of a priority system. What you press next is dictated by what abilities you have available now, but whenever something procs, it more than often changes what you want to press next, and everything procs something for Enhancement. First time I tried Elementalist rotation, I played less than amazing, but after countless of years of dummy slapping sessions and M+ grind, it eventually clicked for the poor Stank as well. I also used the add-on Hikuli a great deal to drill in the rotation and get a better understanding of it. Now, if you're hoping to hear me say, oh my god, this will be god meta next season, Enhancement is in an incredibly good spot at the moment. Tuning can change, but even if they don't retune anything, it's hard to say what the M+ pros will figure out. That being said, if you aren't planning to try to push 30+ keys, then god comp or not does not matter. And anyone who doesn't want Enhancement in their group next season is seriously missing out, because Season 3 Dungeon Pool and Raid is incredibly well designed for Enhancement, and especially Enhancement this season due to the new tier bonus, which reduces Primordial Wave cooldown. The vast majority of dungeon bosses in Season 3 spawns adds, or is a council style fight. So we're able to get that ungodly amount of slappiness on those fights, which translates to boss dying a lot faster. There's also a lot of AoE fears, poisons, things to purge and decurse, not to mention having access to multiple disrupt, stun, endcap. It just makes us extremely well-rounded. And on top of this, the majority of fights in the new raid has adds, giving us a lot of opportunities to funnel damage into boss and prio adds inside of a raid setting, unlike previous raid Aberrus where there was really only 2 fights and not a ton in those fights. But yeah, all in all, I for one am hyped beyond hyped for this iteration of Enhancement. So if you ever thought about trying Enhancement, do it now. Do it now! And that's pretty much it. Mainly wanted to see if I could influence some poor melee players over to the Enhancement side of life. If you have any questions at all, hit me up in the comments. You can also become a patron or a Twitch sub and get access to the Stankie Discord. You can also get shoutouts in videos, things like that. Don't forget the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, slap that notification bell, and yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.